Hello there. Let's not talk too much and get straight into the business. Let's install the Trixie minimal install, and from there you can build your own operating system as you like it, but the accent is going to be on making the initial minimal install as possible. So right now I am on my laptop, and here we go. We are going to choose our USB stick which holds the installer. Go to advanced, go to expert installer. This is important because you are going to want to tune some of the settings that relate to you. Choose your language here. Let's pretend that we all speak English. Your country here, you can pretty much be sure to select your own country, of course. Your local settings, choose them here. If you're not from the United States or the UK, but from some other country out of the like 200 of them, you can select some locals here. And for example, if you are from I don't know, Austria, you can select the locals here. Press continue, and I would advise you that you set the ones that are your own as default, because this is going to alter some of the desktop settings for you, the time display format, the currency, the addresses, you know, stuff like that. So I usually select this one. If you don't braille display option, you can skip this one. Configure the keyboard. Well, if we have selected German as our default, there is a high chance that we want to use the German keyboard. However, I don't know how to type on German keyboard, so I'm just gonna select American again. Detect and mount installation media. This is where you're just going to give it a chance to scan your USB installer stick. Media detected, continue, load installer components. So here, in most cases, you do not need to select anything. So I'm just gonna select continue, because the installer is going to select everything that it truly needs for this installation. So you can just give it a go next. Detect network hardware. So here you're going to have the chance to either use Wi-Fi for installation or your LAN connection via the cable. I am already connected via the cable, so I'm just gonna press configure the network, press enter again to detect the network connection on my cable. This is my first connection, and the other one is wireless, of course. If you choose wireless, you're going to have to provide the password, of course. Out of configure networking, absolutely yes. Just press enter here and continue with the procedure, right? It's fairly easy so far. We have received the IP address from the DHCP server. Here you are going to select your host name. I don't know, minimal. It's going to be called minimal, the host name of your machine. Set up users and password. You probably don't want to have the ability to log in as root, so press no here and type the full name of your actual user that is going to use the system. There we go. And your username, good. And your password for your user. This is the same password that you're going to use sudo later on. Configure the clock, set the clock using the network time protocol. Absolutely yes. You can choose your own network time protocol if you have something closer to you, but basically you can select the default one. Select your time zone. So as I said, if you're in Germany, go with, I don't know, Central. Actually, here I have selected some American components, so it's not going to let me choose Germany, but for this it doesn't matter. You choose for yourself. Detect your disk drives. So this is somewhat important, of course. Let's partition the disks. If you're here just for the instructions on the minimal installation, maybe you can allow your partitioning service to automatically partition your entire drive and just select use entire disk. What this is going to do is it's basically going to wipe your entire drive and nothing is going to be left, and it is going to make a neat basic partitioning scheme. So let's use this one. Don't try to install on your installer SSD. Use your own hard drive or your SSD. All files in one partition. This is usually an okay way to go unless you know that you need it differently. If you do, then you don't really need my help here. So what the installer is suggesting here is to prepare a 1 gigabyte EFI partition. This is for UEFI boot. Basically, the rest is going to be your system, and the small part of your system is going to be swap. If you're going to use Hibernate, then you're going to have to delete this partition here by pressing enter here and choosing delete. And then deleting the swap partition as well and creating a swap partition larger than your RAM. So I have 16 gigs of RAM, so the swap partition has to be at least 16 gigs if you want to use Hibernate. So just recreate everything as it is offered here, but with slightly larger swap. Also, if you're going to use like Btrfs, you can just choose it here. If you're using Debian stable, there is a good chance that you're going to pick ext4 file system because that one is tried and true, and there isn't too much of the benefit with using a less tried and true file system such as Butter file system, unless you're using a rolling distribution where there is a high chance of breakage of your entire system. So then people tend to use Butter file system to have their snapshot to roll back their changes and stuff like that. But on Debian system, I would recommend going with ext4 because you're not going to need the rollback functionality of Butterfile system. You may want to use something like Snapper, which is a tool that does snapshots like by default every hour or so. So you can use the Butterfile system snapshot system like a kind of a trash can. Because if you delete something by accident, and I'm not talking about your system breaking, I'm just talking about you unintentionally deleting something from your system with the rm command, and then you don't have this file anymore, then you can go back 1 hour or 2 hours ago and whatever, and just copy your file from there. This is very easy to do with the snapshot system of Butterfile system. So if you do like such functionality, you can choose Butterfile system here. Mount point can stay. Done setting it up. So we now have prepared the layout for your SSD. Finish partitioning. Write these changes to disk, yes, and now we are going to go to the next step. And the next step is going to be install the base system. So just press enter here and wait it out just a little bit. Here you're going to select Linux image AMD64. This is fine. And then we want to include all available drivers, because if ever you're going to use this SSD on a different computer, you will want all of your drivers to automatically work. If you select this one, you're not going to get too much benefit out of that. Good. Now configure the package manager. Use a network mirror, yes. HTTP is the best choice most of the time. Choose your own country. So let's pretend that we are still in Germany. Let's go to Germany, and here you will select one of your local mirrors. So let's go with FTP DE Debian org. Do you need proxy? Most likely you don't. If you do, you will know it already. Do you wish to use non-free firmware? Usually I would recommend this, but if you're a free software purist, then just select no here. Do you wish to use non-free software? Same choice. Enable source repositories in apt. This is if you will want to recompile some of the packages on your own. Select yes, or otherwise select no. You can change this afterwards. It is very easy. And here, security updates, you absolutely want these release updates. Well, the release updates will help you to get the updates in front of the next point release. So basically, you're going to get some updates faster this way. Backported software, you can select this one if you will want to be able to use or install some of the newer versions of software that are going to be released in the next version of Debian, but are being backported by the Debian backporting team to Trixie. If you don't know, you can leave it out. So one day when you will know that you need backports, you can just add them manually. Press continue here. Select and install software. So this is the most important part of the minimal installation. Install security updates automatically. You don't have to select this, but I usually do, because if I forget about installing these updates, I do want them to be automatically installed. Usually this will not break anything for you if you do it completely unattended. Do you wish to participate in the package survey? Like, what packages are you using? Just press no here. Unless you wish, unless you feel good and you wish to share with the Debian team what you're using on your system. So the important part in this menu, and arguably the most important part of this video, is simply to deselect everything. So by default, Debian is going to offer you these two options, which are basically the entire GNOME, and this will be a huge amount of packages. Don't do that even if you want to use GNOME, just deselect everything. And here, the almost last option is standard system tools. Don't select this one either, because if you really want a minimal installation, then you're going to manually pull only the packages that you really need. So just deselect everything here and press continue. The base of the system is going to be installed and the system is going to be fully functional, but without any bloat. Install the GRUB bootloader. Force GRUB installation to the EFI removable media path. Yes, update NVRAM variables to automatically boot into Debian. You most probably do want this. Run OS prober to automatically detect and boot other operating systems. You probably don't need this unless you're dual booting with Windows or something like that. So press no here. Finish the installation. Press enter here. Is the system clock set to UTC? Usually this is safe to press yes if you're only using Linux on this system, because what this means is that the system is going to use your clock in the BIOS as set to universal time zone. I mean, the Greenwich time, right? The zero in London, basically. But your true system time in your operating system will use your offset depending on which country you have chosen. If you are dual booting with Windows, you need to select no here because Windows simply can't handle this functionality. Press enter to continue rebooting because we are done with the minimal installation. So if you have noticed, it's really easy to handle the minimal installation in Debian. Even if it's called expert installer, basically all you're doing is just pressing enter, and when you finished with any of the choices, it just offers you the next one and the next one and the next one. And I cannot stress enough how really truly easy this is. So we are now going to boot for the first time into our new installation here. There we go. We have now booted. Let's log in as Dart and my password. Okay, let's type sudo dpkg reconfigure so setup. Okay. There we go, UTF-8. We're going to use the Latin 2. I know that you don't see this, and this is exactly why I'm doing this. Let's choose Terminus font and the biggest size possible. There we go. So let me try that once again so that you can see what I'm doing. Console setup. So here I have chosen UTF Latin 2 as a character set because that's what suits me best. Terminus font is absolutely the best one for the TTY console, and this is the size of the font that we are going to use. The reason why I have chosen the biggest one is so that you can see what I'm doing here. So if you will want to install, for example, KDE, this is what I usually use. You can type sudo apt install KDE Plasma desktop, and voila. It is going to offer you something like 1377 packages. So do you really want this or not? It is up to you. But basically, if you're going to be installing a minimal system, there is a chance that you're going to be using something minimal for your GUI and not a desktop environment. Mind you, the 1377 packages is actually the minimal KDE install for the meta package that is offered by Debian. There are two more KDE packages which offer more of this, a lot more, like 2000 packages. So if you just want the basic KDE, you can install Kvin, maybe Dolphin. Look how this is going to look for you. Like Kvin, you need that if you're going to use KDE. You need Dolphin for sure, and these two packages. Oh, Kvin. Let's say Wayland. Okay. So these two packages are going to pull everything they need in order to function. And already with just the compositor and just the file manager, we are already at 715 packages. You could use the option with like no install recommends. There we go. And now we are at 449 packages. You will probably and most certainly want to study all of the dependencies that are being offered and simply decide what is the minimal setup that you really need and what the system is offering for you as a much needed or semi-needed dependencies. Write them down, and maybe later on, if something is missing in your system, study your notes and see what you have missed installing and why some of the functionalities are not working as you may have been expecting. But it is you who are going to install your minimal system. If desktop environment is just too much for you, go with some of the window managers. Those tend to pull a lot less of the dependencies, so you're going to have a chance of making up for a truly minimal system. So if you check df, you're going to see that we are currently using something like 1.3 gigabytes of our SSD. So this is the minimal install so far, and I thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have learned something. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. There will be a lot more, especially with the Debian content. Thank you very much.